Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Chris, and this is the 2022 channel update for the channel. I've never done one of these before, so this is kind of new to me, so this may be a little bumpy, somewhat awkward. But I kind of wanted to just reflect over the last year of what's kind of going on with the channel, and also take a look at, what things hold for this year in 2022. I'm also recording this in my wife's office since she has the better camera and mic. So just FYI. So I've been doing video game documentaries on here for a little over a year now. November 2nd, 2020, I believe is the exact date. With Super Monkey Ball. And I've had a lot of fun doing it. I've met a lot of great people. I've learned more than I probably ever have in my entire life in just this past year alone, from researching and learning how to video edit and learning Adobe Photoshop and all kinds of different things. The whole process is kind of crazy and involved when putting together a large scale documentary type of video. And I also kind of had to figure out my style as I was going. My style changed drastically from when I did Super Monkey Ball up until probably my first really big long video, which was the history of Gradius in March of 2021, last year. And I kind of feel like Gradius is when I got my style down. I kind of figured out how I wanted to do these videos, how I wanted to tell the story and set up the different chapters. And it was just it felt right. When I did Gradius, by the end of that video, everything felt right to me. I felt like this is how I want to make these moving forward. So obviously things have changed a little bit, but Gradius is really when I kind of got my style kind of hammered down after a few months of kind of experimenting with different types of storytelling and editing and things like that. And I chose Gradius because A, I'm a huge fan of the series, and B, it just didn't have a ton of coverage compared to the other series that I had been doing videos on. And I thought that would be a good direction to go. And it was. It worked out really well. I got a lot of good feedback from it. A lot of people enjoyed the video, it seemed like. And I kind of, had found my style, and I kind of now had found what kind of content I wanted to cover moving forward. So after Gradius, I did a few more short videos. I did a weird oddball opinion piece video that was fun to, write and put together, but it just didn't do that well. And then I did Cyberbots, which was, it's kind of another short fun one to put together. And then I decided to do Ace Attorney to kind of coincide with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on Switch and PC and PS4, I think. And I chose Ace Attorney, just the same reason I chose Gradius, because I felt like it was a series that I loved, and it was also a series that hadn't really gotten a big history or retrospective that I could find anyways. I might be wrong on that. So I did that. It took a long time. Ace Attorney took way more time than Gradius. It was the longest one to put together. And I put it out in early July, and it did decent. I shared it around and everything like that. And then I found that there were some audio issues with it. So I pulled it down, and I remixed a lot of the audio and uploaded it back up. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't post it anywhere, really. I just kind of uploaded it back to YouTube and kind of pretended like nothing had happened. YouTube grabbed that video and went crazy with it. It just caught me completely off guard. Within I think 2 or 3 days, it had already destroyed the view count of any other thing I had done. And people seemed to really like it, and it was doing great. So that was awesome. My channel started to do really well, and I started to grow relatively fast. I mean, not crazy growth, but it was quicker than I'd ever grown before. So it was nice. And then I did a short video on Ghost Trick, which isn't really part of the Ace Attorney series, but it's still kind of part of the Shu Takumi story. So the creator of Ace Attorney. So I thought it would be fun to kind of put that in there as kind of a little extra add-on to the history of Ace Attorney. And after that, I started doing some freelance work for Final Fantasy Union, who is an amazing site. They cover all Final Fantasy stuff. Highly recommend checking them out. I helped out with the history of Square, the second part of the history of Square that they're doing, which is a really ambitious and awesome video series. So definitely give it a watch. But after the history of Ace Attorney, I kind of felt this immense pressure to follow up with something really good. And I decided to do the history of Katamari Damacy, the popular Namco series that, was still pretty niche compared to a lot of other stuff out there. And I put that together and released it, I think, in mid-October, a little bit later than I wanted to. But it didn't do amazing, and it wasn't terrible by any means, but it just wasn't great. And I think Ace Attorney had kind of like given me these like really big expectations. So it was a little disappointing to me. And with my channel, I kind of have these like long 2 to 3 month gaps between videos because it takes me so long to like, put them all together. So it's like every time I put out a big video, if it doesn't do well, it's like kind of like make or breaks my mood for the next few months while I'm working on the next project. So that didn't do well. And I had this idea to do a Final Fantasy, a real world lore of Final Fantasy summons video that I did next. It was kind of like a short thing. I thought I would put it together. It was a pretty simple video to research and put together. That did much worse than even Katamari. And I was kind of distraught about that. I was a little bit upset. So I kind of put the Final Fantasy project on the back burner since it wasn't really doing very well. And I had a lot of people request the Danganronpa series on the Ace Attorney video in the comments. So I had played through the first game. I really liked it. I kind of wanted an excuse to play through the series, and I thought it would be fun. And I would kind of like, it wasn't like my first choice of what to cover, but I was still like, kind of like interested in this series. Ace Attorney had done really well, so maybe, move to another visual novel / adventure game. So I tackled the Danganronpa series after that as a kind of a way to kind of, see how people would like that. And it's not very retro, so it was kind of like a weird decision because it's like kind of like a newer game. It's only like I think 11 years old at this point. And I marathoned the entire series in about two and a half weeks or so, all the mainline games. And that was quite the undertaking, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I enjoyed the games, I enjoyed the series. It was just a lot of work. And the video itself was even more work. It was easily the longest video I've done. It took me almost probably 400 hours total from start to finish to put the entire thing together in terms of like research, writing the script and recording the audio, editing all the audio, making thumbnails, doing all the video editing, just all that stuff. It was a very, very intense project. And just like Gradius, I kind of decided to break it up into multiple videos so I could kind of get something out a little bit quicker. So there wasn't as much of a lull in my content, which I know is like, that's the big thing everyone says on YouTube, is you got to keep things coming out consistently. So I'm just one guy. I don't have a team. I can't hire anybody. I don't have that kind of money. So I just kind of do it all myself. And I put out the first Danganronpa. I had no idea what to expect. I was hoping for the best, but it just didn't do very well. And I think that was kind of like a big blow to me because I had worked really, really hard on that at that point. Every video after Ace Attorney had steadily gotten worse in terms of view counts and people watching it. And like I enjoy making these videos, and I like to research them, and I like to write the scripts and everything. But I make them for people to watch, honestly. So that's when people aren't watching my content, it's not a great feel, obviously. But after that, I really started to get upset. I started to have a tough time. I just felt like I was doing the rest of this video series just to send it out to die. And as I did each video, like every week or so, they would just, each one would do worse than the last, and I just had no idea what was going on. And I still don't. This series didn't do well, and it, by the end of it, I was in a horrible place, and I really just, my mental health was terrible, and I was just depressed, and I just felt like really, really awful about like YouTube and trying to keep up with this and dealing with the algorithm and trying to like chase what people want to watch, and it was a lot. It was a lot on my shoulders, and it really took its toll on me. And originally I had planned to do the Zero Escape series right after Danganronpa, since it just kind of felt like a natural fit. But Danganronpa did so poorly that I was like, I must be doing the wrong thing here. So after Danganronpa, I decided to take a break for the rest of January. I think it was the first week of January 2022. It really just felt soul-crushing, and I just felt defeated. And like, I've only been in this for a year, so like, I know there's been people that have done this for years and years and years longer than me, but it's, it is what it is. I feel how I feel. And I spent a lot of time reflecting on, what I had done the past year, and what made me happy, what didn't make me happy. And I started to feel like, after after, I did Battletoads, I really started to be so scared to do a lot of topics that I wanted to do because, like I said, other people had covered them. Much larger channels and content creators had already covered those topics. And I decided for 2022, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not running away from these topics that I really am passionate about and care about. There's some things I want to do videos about that, have been done to death, and I have a gazillion other videos out there made about them. I also have a lot of interesting ideas I want to try out, like some new short form videos that I kind of wanted to give a shot. That I've been kind of playing around with in 2021. And I was kind of scared to do different things than what I had already been doing. But like I said, with this year, my goal for myself is to slow down. I know I already put out videos very slowly as it is. It's usually a 2 to 3 month gap, like I said, between each video. And that's me killing myself trying to put these videos out while juggling other things going on in my life. And I really just need to slow down, take my time a little bit more, just kind of enjoy the journey of each video. And I think that I was just trying to desperately get a video out just so I could, appease, the YouTube algorithm so they just didn't get shut down. But I'm not worried about that anymore. And I'm not worried about, covering stuff that's already been covered to death. I'm going to just keep doing things I want to do. And for 2022, I've already started working on a new video. It is another long form history of documentary about a series that started, I believe, the same year as Gradius in 1985. But I've been looking forward to doing this for a while. And like I said, it's one I kind of ran away from because it had already been covered plenty by other channels. But I'd like to do it, and I'm going to. And I think it'll be pretty good, hopefully. And another thing I'd like to kind of dip my toe into is maybe doing video game reviews, retro reviews. I've never really done anything like that. Most of my stuff is more kind of informative only. But I'd like to kind of make some more videos that kind of get more my opinion and my thoughts on things like that, which I don't really do very often. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I kind of have 1 or 2 titles I'm kind of already tossing around for that. But I think that's really it. I think that I'm going to be taking things a little bit slower. I'm going to be kind of experimenting with some different things. I'm still going to be doing the history of videos. So don't worry about that. They're going to still keep coming. They just might be a little bit more far apart than they usually are, which is, I know, already pretty far apart as it is. But keep an eye out for those. And I really want to thank everybody that has watched one of my videos, has left a comment, hit the like button, shared it on social media with some of their friends. I really, really appreciate it. It means so much. And this stuff takes so much work, and it just it really beats you down. And when people show even a little bit of support, it goes such a long way, and it makes all the difference as to whether somebody keeps going or if they just, give up and just stop on the side of the road. And if there's a content creator out there that you really like, not just me or anything like that, let them know if you enjoy their content, please. It is so important to let people know if you're watching, even if they get a gazillion comments, let them know, just tell them, hey, I really enjoyed this, or hey, keep doing this. You did a great job here. It goes a long way. Make sure you take the time. It takes 10 seconds to to let people know if you enjoyed their videos or anything, their artwork or their music or anything like that. It is so important, and something I think that we need to do more of as people, honestly. So thanks to everybody that stuck around this far. Like I said, I don't really do these, so this is kind of new to me. Hopefully it wasn't too painful or excruciatingly bad. But I look forward to making some new videos for you and some new content in 2022, and I hope you will enjoy it. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.